Supreme Court Judge nominee Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson start today, where we will hear more about where she leans on many issues, but some of her past decisions and remarks, including lenient sentences for sex offenders and support for the 1619 Project, have caused concern among some Republicans, including our next guest. Joining us now, Senator Josh Hawley, who in a matter of hours will have a chance to question her. Senator, what stands out? I heard you in previous interviews say soft on crime is something that concerns you. What proof do you have?
Well, it's her record, Brian, is really what concerns me. And in particular, just to take one example, if you look at what she's done with child porn offenders, while she has been on the bench, Judge Jackson, in every case in which she's had a child porn offender in front of her, she's given that person a lenient sentence, lower than what the federal guidelines recommend, lower than what prosecutors from the government sought. And in fact, she did it in case after case. And going back to her time on the Sentencing Commission, Brian, before she was on the bench, she wanted to eliminate the current mandatory minimum sentence for child porn offenders. As far back as law school, she talked about questioning whether child sex offender registries are even constitutional. So this is somebody, I think, who has a lot of issues when it comes to being lenient with criminals, soft on crime. And I just want to know, is this a person who's going to protect our kids or who is going to protect child sex predators? And we need to get those answers.
Well, Senator Dick Durbin is on that committee and pushed back against you on ABC yesterday. Let's listen.
He's wrong. He's inaccurate and unfair in his analysis. Judge Jackson has been scrutinized more than any person I can think of. There's no truth to what he says. And he's part of a fringe within the Republican Party. This was the man who was fist-bumping the murderous mob that descended on the Capitol on January 6th of last year. He doesn't have the credibility he thinks he does.
Your reaction?
Well, the facts are the facts, and the facts are that Dick Durbin can call names and cast aspersions all he wants, but Judge Jackson sentenced below the sentencing guidelines for every single child porn offender that has come before. And it's not just one or two, Brian. She's had, to the extent that we can find her cases, she's had at least 10, we believe, 10 different cases with child porn offenders. And in every single one where she had discretion, she sentenced below what the federal recommendation was. She sentenced below what the government recommended. Now, listen, here's what the left's new line is what that's fine. They said, yeah, because child porn sentences are too high. So it's good that Judge Jackson is sentencing leniently. And I guess we can have that debate. I just want to say that I disagree with that. I don't think this is the time to go soft on child porn offenders.
Hey, you know, Senator Mitch McConnell said yesterday, listen, we're going to hear, we're going to treat her with respect, and I think America needs to hear that. We don't want to hear about what she was doing in 11th grade, like we were witnessing last time. But he said, I asked her a simple question. Where do you stand about packing the court? The last two liberal Supreme Court justices who were asked that question were against it. Don't you think she should be against packing a court that would diminish her authority?
Yeah, I think that this should be an easy question for her to answer. It's troubling that she won't just come out and say that this is the right number, that 9 is the right number. That is what every justice who has been asked this question in my living memory has said, including, of course, the late Ruth Bader Ginsburg, including Justice Breyer, who she would like to replace. So, you know, this again, I think there's a reason that these far-left groups are for Judge Jackson, and we need to get some answers from her.
Absolutely. Clarence Thomas, by the way, was hospitalized with flu-like symptoms, but is expected to be okay. Just when I saw that video, it just reminded me of that. Real quick, if you guys do get the majority, and you're within a whisker of being in the majority now in the House, and the Senate is going to be a harder mountain to climb, but it's more than possible. Where do you want to probe first?
Well, in terms of what this administration has done, I would start with, first of all, their withdrawal from Afghanistan, their chaotic, disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan that left hundreds, if not thousands, of American civilians behind to the enemy, that cost 13 American service members' lives at that explosion at Abbey Gate. I'd like to know why Joe Biden, relatedly, has shut down American energy production. Why isn't he pushing forward? Why isn't he opening up our production so that we can be energy independent, so that we're not reliant on people like Vladimir Putin? I think there's lots of questions to ask here, but I'd start with their disastrous policies and the chaos that they have led this nation into.
Also, other people have brought up an investigation into Anthony Fauci, what was going on before, and Hunter Biden's laptop. It turns out we can believe it. Who would have thought? Maybe there's something there, and it's not about him being addicted to crack, which has nothing to do with this in the big picture. And the big picture is what kind of deals was he cutting, and who's the big guy? Maybe we'll finally get some answers. Senator Josh Hawley, we'll watch you today. Thank you.